We have an attitude that we are a poor people. I mean, we're talking about $200 billion a year and we're still talking poverty. You know, we're talking 10th, 11th richest nation in the world and we're still pleading poverty.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Black Excellence Daily. I'm your host, Sean Croxton. Thank you so much for tuning in on a Friday. We've got my main man, George Subira, back on the show today. He is going to deliver a very quick talk on the attitudes that many of us in the Black community have when it comes to business and capitalism and marketing and sales. I always say that when it comes to Black businesses, it is not very hard to stand out. It is not very hard to succeed. And you might hear that and be like, Sean, what are you talking about? It's so hard. I mean, it's difficult. There are obstacles. But when you really think about it, most businesses, not just Black businesses, but businesses in general, they're doing it all wrong. And when most people, most businesses are doing it all wrong, that is your opportunity to do it all right. If you read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and I believe Dr. Kimbrough writes about this in Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, you will read about something called QQS, which is what separates the successful businesses from everybody else. First Q, quality. What is the quality of the service that you're providing? Are you excellent at what you do, or are you just okay? Don Barden talked about this on Friday, I think, or no, last Wednesday. Are you excellent or are you just kind of out there, right? Are you just expecting business because you're a Black business and just kind of, delivering so-so service? Because if that's the case, then people won't keep coming back. You have to deliver excellent service. The second Q, the quantity of the service you provide. How many people can you help at the same time, right? I develop courses. I do a book club. I deliver service to hundreds or thousands of people at the very same time without any additional work. So here's the thing. In most businesses, it's a one-person show. There is no team. I have a team, right? So if it's just you put a lid on your ability to serve lots of people at the same time because there's only so many hours in the day. There's only so much energy that you have. And so we want to get into the habit of not just being sole proprietorships. We want to get into the habit of scaling, like building organizations and scaling our business so we can help hundreds, thousands, millions of people at the very same time. That's key. Thirdly, the S. The S is the spirit in which you deliver the service. We have grown a reputation for delivering service with attitude. We do not have reputations for being really great at customer service. If you do not have a pleasing personality, as Napoleon Hill would say, you're not going to do a lot of business. Because people just don't want to be around you, right? You ever go into a restaurant? Like there's a car wash across the street that I would go to, and I didn't like any of those people. But since it was across the street, I would just go anyway. But I just, I would be like, man, do I really want to pay $30 to get my car washed by these mean ass people? You know what I'm saying? And so people will make choices about who they do business with based on the personality and the spirit of the people who are serving them. So if you run your own business, ask yourself, how well are you doing with the Q and the Q and the S? Because many of us aren't doing very well. And also, lastly, actually, I got two more things, so just hang in there with me here. The first one is this. Great ideas have a way of going to the wayside because we don't want to market or sell them. We have a hard time with sales. We don't want to seem pushy. We don't want to get rejected. If you have an idea and you want to create a business out of it and you're not willing to do marketing so more people will know about it, you're not willing to sell the product, then the product's never going to move. And then lastly, this is so very important. This is not on the business owner. This is on the customers, especially Black customers. We need to stop asking for the hookup. We are known for this. Oh, but we both black. Like, let me get the hookup. Let me get, 10, 20% off. We have to understand that many businesses have a 10 to 20% margin. That's all the profit that they make. So when we show up there and we're trying to haggle for our 10 to 20% off just because we're Black, that business owner is not making any money. And then we wonder, like, what happened to all the Black businesses? Well, they weren't making any money because they were trying to hook everybody up. So as customers, Black customers, respect the business owner enough to pay full price for excellent service. If the service sucks, then haggle. But if it's excellent service, don't ask for a hookup. And as the business owner, like Carla Harris talked about last week, you have to be willing to say no. The customer wants 10 to 20% off. No, that's I pay full price because that is the value of the service or the product that I deliver. No more hookups, my friend. Hookups are killing our businesses, killing them. It's just like those fees we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago. The fees, they compound over time. So one person asked for 10% off, somebody asked for 15% off, somebody else asked for 20% off. That compounds over time. And at the end of the year, the business owner, at the end of the quarter, the business owner looks at their P&L. They go, damn, where did all my money go? It went to the hookup people. So let's stop asking for hookups and let's respect our Black businesses who deliver excellent service. George Subira is coming up.
George Subira, author of The Black Folks Guide to Making Big Money in America, has found that bad attitudes sometimes cause businesses to fail.
We have an attitude that we are a poor people. I mean, we're talking about $200 billion a year and we're still talking poverty. You know, we're talking 10th, 11th richest nation in the world and we're still pleading poverty. The reasons why so many people come into our business, come into our community to set up their businesses is because they know that we're not poor. They know that if they can corner our market, that they can become millionaires. So that's an anti-money consciousness kind of attitude. We also have an attitude that comes from the Black church, that comes from religion, period, which suggests that, you know, love of money, love of making money, you know, is in itself kind of an evil, mischievous, anti-godly thing to be about doing. And there's a lot of phrases in the Bible which kind of support that kind of thinking.
Subira also feels that Blacks don't develop the sales and promotion skills needed to attract more profit.
If you look at Ebony Magazine, 40 years old last year, it is just as dependent on white corporation support in 1986 as it was in 1946, with the exception of the cosmetic industry, which is just one industry in a nation full of industries. The 350,000 Black businesses do not advertise in Ebony. And it is the most widely read Black document in the history of the planet Earth. It's not like they have to make a decision like white America of whether to advertise in Newsweek or Time or U.S. Today, News and World Report, People, Us. You know, they have 1 trillion magazines and they have to select their market. We know that if we hit Ebony or Jet or Black or Essence, that we have our market covered. And yet we still don't do it. So the weakness in selling, promotion, marketing, all in one, because it's all kind of interrelated, I think is our weakest area. If we had a reputation as salespeople, we could get financing because people know that we could get rid of the product.
That was the late, great George Subira wrapping up our week. You can check out today's talk online. It is on YouTube. It's called 8th Congressional District Election, Folks, 1986. All right, that is it from me. Hope you enjoyed this week's talks. I'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. I'm out. Peace.